Today's news is news that nobody wants to talk about. We are speaking about the young man who lost his life at the Maponya Mall this week. His name is Mthokozisi. He was just 27 years old, and it had been a few days after he arrived in Joburg. He was looking for greener pastures. He wanted to take care of his sickly mother, and it was just 3 days after he started driving an Uber that he was just gone, just like that. Hello everyone, my name is Miss Media, and I am here to bring you the news that matter, the news that we need to be speaking about. Please do make sure that you hit that subscribe button, and also you can grab me on Facebook and on TikTok as well as on IG. You can just look for Miss Media or Miss Media News. Well, on the issue of Mthokozisi, you know, this is a story that has touched so many people, so many hearts, but I will tell you briefly about this young man. So Mthokozisi had been looking for a job for a very long time, and he came to Joburg to live with his aunt, and his aunt was helping him find jobs, but he could never get anything stable. So he went back to KZN for quite some time to stay there, and eventually after he had enough money to get a car, he came back to Johannesburg. He got himself an Uber car to drive, and this was a week ago, and then on Monday he started working as an Uber driver, but by Wednesday he had met his demise and he had lost his life. How the incident happened is that Mthokozisi was parked outside Maponya Mall. 4 people approached his car and they shot him and set the car alight. In fact, it did not end there. These same people also went to another vehicle. It might have been an Uber or a Bolt, but it was definitely an e-hailing vehicle, and they shot the passenger there as well as the driver there. Both of them at the time of recording were still in hospital. So as you can see, this incident is so layered, but also the people who are very, very upset by this, which is mostly the community of Soweto and the larger South African community, they are upset realizing that this could have happened to anyone, and they are mostly upset at the brutality of the entire thing. Now Mthokozisi's family doesn't really have a body to bury, and they don't have something to look at, something to remember him by, because his body was just charred. The whole country has been in mourning for this young man's life because it seems as if it was lost in vain, and a lot of people say if this keeps happening, a lot of young people are going to lose their lives senselessly. There are some people, bystanders, who say that they could hear his faint cries and the hooter of the car going as he lost his life until there was just no sound at all. It happened in basically the full view of many people who were there. What has since happened since then is that Santaco, as well as other taxi owners and associations, they've spoken up and they've said nothing has been confirmed yet, and they do think if this was done by their members, they should face the full might of the law. But coming from that side, no admissions at all. But let's also hear what Mthokozisi's aunt had to say, because she is now left with having to speak to Mthokozisi's mother, who is her older sister, to explain to her what happened to this young man. Let's hear what the aunt has to say.
What really happened, all I know is what I was told, that when my cousin brothers came here, they found him. The car was on lights and it was burning. They were not even allowed to come close. The police were busy with their investigation, and he was gone, and that was it. I had to report to his mother at home, like, Sisi, Gonzagalinte, so, and then since then, she's not talking. I haven't even spoken to her myself, because every time when I ask, can I speak to her, they say she's numb. And I understand why she's numb, because she loved her son wholeheartedly. Everybody knew that Mthokozisi was loved by his mother. But now we have to pick up the pieces, unfortunately, because now we don't know if she's gonna be okay, because she's a sickly person herself. So for her to lose her son in the way that she lost him, because it's not about that he died. Everybody can die. It's how it happened that breaks our hearts for a good boy like him, a sweet boy. You would never hear that he's involved in some
This is a really devastating situation for Mthokozisi's family, but also to the larger community, because everyone can see themselves in Mthokozisi. Some people have said, this could have been me, it could have been my son, it could have been my brother, it could have been any of us who was just at the wrong place at the wrong time, who ended up like Mthokozisi. And above that, a lot of people are expressing fear that Mthokozisi will never get justice. They're saying there's probably going to be no arrests in this matter. So what the community has done is, first they had a candlelight vigil for Mthokozisi in his honor, and people expressing just how pained they are, how hurt they are about what has happened. And the following day, the people of Soweto predominantly, and some I heard came all the way from Pretoria and other parts of the country, they were at Maponya Mall and they were protesting, and they barricaded roads, and they said today these taxi association members have to answer. And they also wanted the management of Maponya Mall to answer as to why this is happening again. And the reason I say again is because a similar incident happened in 2023 where someone was killed, a driver was killed, and 4 other people were injured. So this is not something new. This is something that has happened before in other parts of the country. We've also heard similar stories, and this is what has enraged the community. They are saying, if we let this keep going, it's just gonna be our lives. We are gonna be forced to use taxis even when we have other options, even when we need other options. So that is currently where things are with Maponya Mall being closed. We haven't heard anything yet from the management of Maponya Mall on this issue, but what we do know from the policing side is that no arrests have been made as yet, but the police say they are looking to find the people who are responsible for this. Whether they will find them is yet another question, that still needs to be answered. At the moment, what is lingering is really questions among the community of whether Mthokozisi is ever going to get justice, and was his passing in vain, and when will it stop? When will it stop? When will people be comfortable to call an e-hailing taxi and go into it and know that they're safe making that choice? Will it ever stop? And perhaps this is something you could answer in the comment section as well. Are we ever going to see a day where e-hailing is safe in South Africa? Are we ever going to see a day where there's no violence in the taxi industry? And if nothing else, I can only hope that Mthokozisi's story has reignited the conversation about the safety of South Africans, and also the freedom of choice of South Africans to choose what transport system they want to use. And as we remember Mthokozisi and his legacy and hope that his death was not in vain, let us continue to have these conversations and talk about where our country is heading. And please do remember to click on that subscribe button, and also do remember to follow me on TikTok, on Instagram, and on Facebook. Until next time, see you then.